Okay, so this time we're going to throw some fractions up in here. So, and I don't know how it's going to end up.
Could you do the denominator? Bro, what?
This be a good time to take some notes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a lot of fractions.
There's like 30 of them in there.
I'm not like this.
Oh no, she said I need to step it up. She was bored. Whoa.
Wait.
I just told you I was
Blame
struggling.
her.
I just told you I was struggling.
You know what, John? Just
Shut up, Truman, because you're making good grades this lesson.
Okay, actually, guys, you're going to see this is a whole lot easier than it looks. So just trust me, write it down, and we're going to follow through with the steps. So write it down. And trust me, it's going to be very simple. Because as we get further into this algebra or math 1 thing, you're not going to avoid this. So we might as well get it out of the way. All right? So what I want you to do is I want you to simply watch me do a step, then I will give you a minute to write it down. Then watch me do the next step, I'll give you a minute to write it down. I don't want you to be trying to write and keep up with me because then you're not hearing anything I'm saying. So the first step, according to what I gave you, said distribute if needed. Do we need to distribute?
Yeah.
Yes. So the first step I'm going to do is distribute. So 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times 3 is 3 over 2. Are you with me?
Okay.
Then I have a plus 2x minus 1/4. All right? Got rid of the parentheses there. Here, distribute. I've got a 3/4 x plus 3/8 plus 6/4. Is that a 3/8 x? Yes. Plus 10. Make sure I didn't make any mistakes in there. I don't think I did. 3/8 x and 6/4. That's right. Is everybody following me?
Yeah.
Now, I haven't done anything special so far. All I've done is about 6th grade math. You should know how to multiply fractions. When you multiply fractions, it's top, top, bottom, bottom, and that's how I got this. Okay? So all I did was 6th grade mathematics. All right? Now, the next step is going to make life a lot better. If you're not listening, of course you're going to be confused. If you're talking rather than paying attention to me, that would definitely make you confused. So I need no talking to be happening right now. All right. So now we're going to get rid of the fractions. Your question, the question to you should be, what is the smallest common denominator? That means look at your denominators. When you look at your denominators, I want you to find the smallest number. They all go into evenly. So I have a denominator of 2, I have a denominator of 4, and I have a denominator of 8. Which one do they all go into evenly? 8. They all don't go into 2 because 8 doesn't go into 2. And 4 doesn't go into 2. They don't go into 4 because 8 won't go into 4. So they have to all go into it evenly. So 8 is going to be my number that I'm going to be multiplying everything by to get rid of these fractions. So I'm going to multiply this by an 8. That by an 8, 8 and 8. I've got 8, 8, 8, and 8. What you do to one thing in an equation, you must do to everything. So while we're clearing fractions, if I'm going to multiply by 8, I have to multiply everything by 8. Do you guys understand that? Yes.
Whenever you're doing like the multiply everything by 8, why not just put the whole one side?
If you want to. But I'm teaching, since I'm trying to teach and get to everybody so they understand it. Some people like you might understand that. I'm distributing it through, but other people might need to see it, so that's why. Just a teaching strategy. All right, so let's see how this works. Now remember, don't talk. If that number is the same as your denominator, they just cancel out. But if they're not, they don't. So right here, what you have to do is 8 times 1 is 8, and 8 divided by 2 is, so that becomes 4x. That fraction's gone.
What?
8 times 3 is, divided by 2 is, I heard it, 12. So that becomes a plus 12. That fraction's gone. Do you see what I'm doing? So now we're over here. 8 times 2 is 16x. 8 times 1 is, divided by 4 is 2. All those fractions are gone, guys. We just got rid of them. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. 8 times 3 is, I can't hear you. 24 divided by 4 is,
Oh, wait, what? 6.
24 divided by 4. Is it 6 or is it 8? Okay. 6x plus 8 times 3 is, 8 times 3 is, 24 divided by 8 is 3. That becomes a 3x plus 8 times 6 is, you got a calculator, folks. 8 times
6,
48 divided by 4 is 12. And the last one is 8 times 10.
80.
All of my fractions are gone. Do you understand what I just did?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next step is combine like terms. Remember, I can only combine over here together and over here together. Here I have a 4 and a 16. That's 20x. I've got a 12 minus 2. That's plus 10. Stop talking under your breath. I can hear you up here. 6 plus 3 is, and 12 plus 80 is, look how small that got really fast. We went from here to this ugly, awful thing to here, which is manageable. And I did it through clearing my fractions and combining my like terms. Now I have to get all the variables on one side. I've already told you I like to move mine to the left. So that's got to go over there. And I do it by subtracting. $20 minus 9 is
11.
all right. Now I have to undo any addition or subtraction that I might see. Right here's an addition. And then undo addition, division or multiplication. Now, if you are left with a fraction that cannot be reduced, leave it as a fraction. In this case, x equals 82 over 11. And that problem is solved. Yes, I can.